Hello, Analim. I just got started, so I have a sketch on my canvas. I'm gonna paint my cat today. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. It's the Trakell Pet Portrait Competition today, and today's the last day to enter. And this is my third one I'm gonna be doing. I have my palette here, but it still has glow-in-the-dark paint from the other day. So I'm kind of wondering if I'm jumping the gun here by going live, because I have a mess of a palette on my hands. Because I don't want to use all this glow-in-the-dark stuff on my cat portrait. And it takes forever to dry. I'll just scoop all this out of the way. And we'll see what I'm working with, because I'm really lazy and I don't clean up my palette very well, if at all. So I know I'm going to need this brown here. Probably going to need this raw sienna. So I'm breaking the film from what's already dried. Woo! There's my yellow ochre. Definitely going to need that. Okay. Is any of this viable still? Yeah, I think I jumped the gun. Hey, Babs. Hey, Karis. I'm going to be painting my cat today. I'm just prepping my palette as best I can. I still have glow-in-the-dark paint from when I was working on Vessel. I'm still working on Vessel, but today's the last day for the Trakell Pet Portrait Competition. And even though I don't think I'm going to win anything, I did buy 3 panels, so I want to finish all of my pet portraits today. Ah! So I'm going to start this one of my girl, Stella. She's my baby. Let's see if my brushes are good. I know I'm going to probably need this brush and this brush. I think I'll set everything else aside and see what we need that. Thank you. Hey, thank you for sending a gift. I haven't even done anything yet. Another Lakin. I'm gonna turn on some chill AI music and go with the chat here. See if I'm muted. No, y'all can hear me. Okay, cool. So I need to pull up my image of my kitty. Here she is. I'm gonna split the view with this. So now I have my cat. I'm gonna slide that over. Okay, cool. I'm gonna turn this up. Yeah, I'm just gonna get to mixing. She's got a lot of dark tones. She's a tortoiseshell cat, but she's mostly black with a little bit of tan colors, and her eyes are kind of like a green amber. So I'm gonna start with the dark colors, and hopefully I don't get any glow-in-the-dark paint in this, but it is my painting, so it doesn't really matter. It might be kind of cool, but we'll see if I end up wanting to play with that. A lot of this paint that I've got on my palette has dried quite a lot, so I'm having to reconstitute what little is here so that I can work on her portrait. And there's some blue. Borrow some of that blue. I'm making my own chromatic black out of burnt umber and ultramarine blue. At least I think that's what's on my palette. It could be phthalo. It probably is phthalo. It looks kind of like a green blue. Usually I would go for ultramarine, but I'm just using what's here. So I'm going to be looking back and forth a lot from my... Oh, thank you, Lakin. I'm going to be looking back and forth a lot from my iPad to my panel here. Hey, everybody. Looks like I got several new people joining in. So I'm going to start with the darkest colors first and then go from there. It's going to be kind of tricky because it's supposed to hang like this. So I need to figure out a way to stabilize it or paint it crooked. Kind of difficult. Let's see. Maybe this will keep it straight. Oops. Hey, Aiden. Try not to miss anybody who's got questions or anything. So it looks kind of like a green black that I'm painting with right now. But this should be fun. She's making a goofy face. She's sticking her tongue out. She was cleaning herself, I think, but I thought it was so adorable that I actually caught it like mid licking herself. I rescued her. She was left in an apartment. I wasn't going to take her until they told me the story, and then I was like, well, I can't not take her. So they didn't charge me to have her at my apartment. They just said, if you can take her, that's all we want is for her to have care. So I took her, and I've had her now for like 2 years. She's still very skittish because she was abandoned in the apartment. Hey, Osku. Hey. So she was abandoned in the apartment. They didn't know how long that she was there for alone. And I felt so bad for her. And I'd already wanted to get another cat. But at the time I had just adopted my dad's cat. But I was working a lot. So I was like, he needs a companion. But I didn't feel like I was quite ready to take on the responsibility of another cat just yet. But as fate would have it, Stella fell into my lap. So here we are. And she is probably hiding in the bathroom right now. I'm trying to introduce my cats to my dog so that they don't have to be in the bathroom anymore. I think it'll be okay. I've seen my dog with another cat, and it helped kind of quench my anxiety about it. My favorite holiday is also Halloween. Somebody asked me what my favorite holiday was. Hey everybody, it looks like I missed a bunch of people on TikTok who joined. Haley, Travel, Shay, Squishface, Dom, Malewife, Josie, Chanel, Baby Spice, Mia, Birdie, Noah. Thank you guys for joining me. And thank you to whoever's hitting the screen on TikTok and liking my video, or anywhere else for that matter, but TikTok especially, because that gets me seen by more people. They actually give bonuses to people who have more likes. So all of that helps me, even if you don't have the means to support a working artist. That's like the best way to help me right now. Never thought I would say I love TikTok, but I do. I've met a lot of cool people on here. And I feel like a goober because I'm an oldie. Even though I may not look it to some people. At least in the TikTok world, I feel like I'm an oldie. So how many people are watching me because they saw my paintings of Sleep Token? For those of you who want to chat, you don't have to. I know it's pretty relaxing sometimes just to watch. But I'm curious if anybody out there has stumbled upon me just because I'm a painter, or if it's Sleep Token. Thank you, Zendel. Or Zendel, how do you say that? So yeah, she is my baby, Stella. I don't see her every day because she hides a lot. But can you blame her for somebody who was abandoned? Sleep Token? Well, thank you, Mallow Cup. Halloween is the best. And honestly, I'm going to be doing some paintings for Halloween. My goal is to do 31, but I don't know if I'm going to reach that. It's very ambitious of me, but last year I wanted to do it and didn't succeed, so I'm going to try again this year. We'll see if I actually do it. Well, thank you, Allie. I'm reading through the comments, making sure I'm not missing it. Yeah, I'm a big Sleep Token fan, but I also know a lot of artists and like me more. Awesome. Maru, I am gonna be 38 this year, so I'm an oldie for TikTok. I know that a lot of my followers are also my age. I think a lot of us jumped on the TikTok bandwagon after a while. I say oldie, but I'm kind of saying that in jest because there's so many different ages on here. It used to be that it was the young person's trend, but I think they're starting to move toward other things again. I think. But so far, I mean, I started really diving into TikTok when I got sick with COVID about a month and a half ago. And I don't know, I really like it so far. At first, I was really frustrated because I was like, how do you get seen on here? But it started working. I started trying some new stuff. My silly girl. See, and back when I took this picture, I just gotten her. Yeah. I had just gotten my cat when I took this picture, and yeah, you could draw me if you want to, Aiden. I'd be honored if you wanted to draw me. I think it's interesting when people ask me that. You're like the you're the third or fourth person who's asked me that. It's an honor. It really is. My little girl. It's so hard to see her features because she's so dark. Well, happy early birthday, Maru. Yes, Darkins Korea. It is a kitty. Hey, Eleni. How's your painting going? How do you want me to pose other than painting? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Somebody wants to draw me. I have pictures on my Facebook or Instagram. That might be easier. Thank you, Jess, for the hand heart. And Lenny's saying, hey, I'm working on an ocean painting, contemplating if I should add a sunset or not. I always use reference photos, so if it has a sunset, I'll add it. But if it doesn't, then I won't. I hope y'all can see. Okay, I'm like double chinning it over here. Maybe. You got it? I know you got it. Did you get it? Is it lagging? I like it the way it is, but it might be nice to add more color depth. It doesn't. I can't tell what you meant to say. I found a reference to add to it, but I'm not sure. It's always tricky when you want to combine references, especially if you're new to painting. So I don't know there. You could always try it and experiment. If it doesn't look good, you could always paint over it to wipe it off. So I think with this painting, I'm probably going to have to push some of my colors to be darker or lighter than they actually are in the photo. The nice thing about artistic license but I always like to use a reference photo. For the style of art that I like to do, it's really important to have references. You're welcome, Aiden. Alright, I think I need a smaller brush, you guys. Thought that was going to be the smallest one I needed. Let's see, what else do I got? This might work. Alright, I'm going to try to add some browns, maybe. It's so crazy how different colors will look depending on what other colors they're near. I just lifted this brown out of its pile, put it in a separate section, and it looks lighter than where I grabbed it from. But that's relative color for you. Okay, I'm gonna twirl my brush to make it thinner again because I put too much paint. Let's see. And I've been hanging out with my friend a lot. I already missed being over there. Thank you guys for tapping the screen and liking my live. I know I say it a lot, but I really do appreciate it. This is like my half-time job right now, so I'm hoping to keep it that way. And TikTok's really been helpful in helping me do that. And I hope that the other platforms grow too, but I'm not banking on it, but you never know. I hope I finish these paintings before they're due. They're due today. I knew I was going to end up painting on this one like the last day. Oh yeah, I love my Stella. She's such a good cat. Everybody watching, do you have cats? Dogs? I have 2 cats, 2 birds, and I'm a big animal lover in general. Oh, you have a cat and 2 dogs. I love it. What are their names? I'm always curious what people want to name their animals. Some people do like the normal, like human name, which is what my cats have. Was not always the case. It just seemed to fit these particular cats. Because one of them I adopted already had a name. And I was like, well, I'm not going to name the other one a crazy name because it wouldn't fit. So I went with Stella and George. 3 cats and 1 dog. Aww. See, she's got these real weird, like, specks of color. They're, like, in unusual places, in my opinion. Yeti? Your cat's name is Yeti. And your dog's name is Chi Chi. And the other's Gator. That's cute. Why'd you name your dog Chi Chi? Because you know what that means in Spanish, right? Hey, lover of Dark Souls. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. Oh my god. I think it's one of the better days I've had going live. Okay, so is there a reason you named your dog Chi Chi? Like, is it related to that at all? Or oh, okay. That makes more sense that you named it from Dragon Ball Z. I grew up in a predominantly Hispanic culture, so that was the first thing that came to mind. It's kind of weird actually now being in an area where there's far less Hispanic people. I'm actually realizing I'm saying slang words I didn't even know were Hispanic slang words. I mean, I know Spanish, so I'm familiar with most things, but there's been a word or two I've said that my roommate's like, what does that mean? I've never heard that in my life. I feel like my AI music's lagging. Frankie Ruby Tuck? Ruby Tuck is that one name? And the dog is Macy. Let me go back up and make sure I'm saying this. Okay, three animals. Okay, so 3 cats. Frankie, Ruby, and Tuck, and the dog is Maisie. Okay, that's cute. Oh. I really need to clean my palette. I have a lid for my palette, but I never put it on it, and I'm kicking myself now for it because it's oil paint, right? Oil paint takes forever to dry, but I have animals and there's like fur in the air. Thank you, Jess, for the heart, or the rose. Sorry, I thought it was a heart at first glance. What am I saying? Oh, there's hair and fur all in my palette because I don't cover it. So all I'm doing is hurting myself by not covering it. Thank you, Jess. And again, thank you everybody for tapping the screen and liking my live. Like, you don't know how much that helps me. On TikTok, at least. I know on the other platforms it matters if you like it, but it matters a lot on TikTok. They actually pay me to get points for that. So it doesn't cost anything. It's just a free thing to do to help. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Eliza. Paints. Wait, where does this go? On the outside? Okay. I'm gonna dig into this green here. I heard something. I'm gonna turn up my TikTok. I'm using Ray-Ban's Meta glasses so I can hear stuff through my glasses. So it'll go boing, boing sometimes. I don't know what the sounds even mean sometimes. But it is funky. All right, so I added some lime green to some burnt sienna, and I'm getting a nice brown, like amber color. I think this is the color I'm going for her eyes. So let's see. Hey, Glitch. My cat's eyes are shaped weird. Or is that just me? Maybe that's just me. I may have sketched it weird. Hey, Michelle. Thank you. It's my kitty, Stella. Aiden, are you on Instagram or Facebook? I mean, you can email it to me too if you want. You're asking to send the drawing. My email is info@angeluspaintings.com. That was fast. Did you finish it already? Kind of digging this music it's making. You said I'm just asking, and I thought making, and then it came out asking. Alright, I'm mixing some weird looking greens for her skin. Or her fur. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that you just got the sketch going right now. Kind of weird to be painting with greens, but maybe it works. My day's going well. I've been cleaning up because my roommate's been sick, so he's not here right now. And I figured I'd take advantage of the time while he's not here, cleaning up a little bit. I think I might actually really like her portrait. I love green. It's my favorite color. I wasn't actually expecting for the highlights to be green, but that's what's happening. That's what's coming out. How's your day going? Hey, Mohammed. Like a gray area here. I'm gonna paint it green probably. I don't have enough paint on my brush. You should. You should do your ideas. Hey, Guria. I don't know what that means. I'm good. How are you? Thank you, Osku. I appreciate it. Again, I don't have enough paint on my brush. Gotta mix my colors again. Really, Merlin? Oh, you're okay. I'm thankful for your rose emoji. And if you tap the screen, that helps me too, and that's free. So anything, even just you watching. Where am I at with this? Here? say it feels really weird painting with this small of a brush, but there's so many color changes. I can't really use a bigger one. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't want to paint back into it. And if you're not a painter, that might sound weird. But it's all going to be wet paints. There's like a very specific way you have to go about it. Merlin! I'm losing my drawing. Where is it? You are piercing, dude. Pardon me while I die. Let me get some water. Hey, Julia. What kind of art do you do? I see it says Julia's art. I think this slipped when I was doing drawing. It's annoying. Pastel portraits? I have a lot of respect for that because that's difficult, at least in my opinion. I was just telling somebody, I was just telling somebody the other day that I used to really want to use pastels and I thought I was horrible at it and I was really upset with myself for not doing a good job. And I was explaining to her the whole time that every medium you use in the art field has a learning curve. There's frustration involved. You have to get over that hump and learn the techniques and the materials. And I just went into it blindly. Thank you for the rose, Bartley. I went into it blindly and I didn't know what I was doing. So I was using, I don't know if you use oil pastel or chalk pastel, but I was using chalk pastel on regular, like smooth computer paper, which is not what you want to do. And I didn't know it at the time. Hey, Chase. So I didn't know that for a long time, probably till a few years ago when I was in the university before I graduated. And I saw an exhibit of somebody who did pastel portraits. His name is Chin Ching. I forgot his last name. But he was amazing, like huge scale portraits, just looked so realistic. And I could not believe they were done with chalk pastels. I was like, there's no way. And then he did a workshop that I sat in on and I was like asking him, so how do you get the chalk to stay? And he said, it's a special kind of paper you have to get. It's like basically sandpaper to get the chalk to stick to it and you got to layer it. I had no idea. I thought you just put the pastel down and you're good. Like that's it. It's like similar with painting. A lot of people think, oh, just one layer of paint and you're fine. It's actually better, in my opinion, to do multiple layers depending on your technique. But what's especially important with chalk pastel, velour paper. That's really interesting. I've never heard of that. I can imagine though that it's got some sort of tooth to it though. So it'll pick up on, or so that it will pick the chalk up. I'm really liking these greens on her. She's obviously not a green cat, but the colors I'm mixing, this phthalo blue, which I think is what this is. It's like got a greenish hue to it. And when I paint with it and mix it with my colors, it gets even more green. because I'm using, let's see, I'm using yellow ochre, burnt umber, raw sienna, I think. You guys, I missed my friends already. I can't believe I missed them. Barely even been away. Crazy. You ever have those friends that are so fun to hang out with? It doesn't even matter if you're doing anything. That's how I feel right now. Well, somebody's asking, how do you know when it's time to stop and let it dry to do more layers later? So this is a cat. Somebody asked, what are you painting on it? I'm painting a cat. It's for the Trakell Pet Portrait Competition. And to answer Chase's question about how do I know when it's dry, normal pencil on my finger if I have to shade, fixative. Oh yeah, I mean, if you have a pencil, then you can do a whole bunch of different stuff, but chalk pastel is very different. So basically, if it gets to a point where I keep lifting paint more than I'm putting paint down, like if I put the paintbrush down and it's taking off what I've put down already instead of putting the color down that I have on my brush, that's when I tend to get frustrated and stop. I don't have to. I could apply thicker paint if I wanted to, or really wipe my brush clean every single time and just really lay it on thick, but I don't want to do that. That's not how I work usually. So that's how I know. There's another technique that you can do where you have to let each layer of each individual color dry, and I'll just do that once I'm done with the color covering the whole thing. So there's another technique you can do. I might do it on a live one day, maybe. It might be kind of cool to do Sleep Token or something. But basically you paint in black and white first, and then you go from darkest to lightest color, but you only do one color at a time in a glaze. So your whole value scale is done with black and white, and then you go back over it to tint it with your colors. It's a really beautiful way of painting. It's an old, like archaic, traditional way of painting. What I'm doing right now is considered basically alla prima. I'm painting wet into wet. So I'm trying to get it done in one session or two sessions where it's still, all the paint's going to be wet. And it's because it's like, basically to me, this is like a painted sketch basically. And it's just for me and it's for the competition. And I don't have any intention of winning or placing or anything. It's just a challenge for me to paint my animals and to paint on hardwood, because wood can get heavy and it takes up a lot more space than canvas does, and it's, again, heavy. Whereas canvases are not heavy, but they're not as much of a joy to paint on, in my opinion, as wood is. But I love these wood panels from Trakell, and this gives me a chance to try them out. So I enjoy their pet portrait competition. I did it last year as well, and I might continue to do it moving forward just for fun. And I'm sure it probably helps them with their sales too. You know, lots, because they make you use specific panels for their competition, specifically for the competition. Like they did a limited release of these panels just for this competition. Hey Edgar, welcome back, Mr. Hummingbird. So this is my cat Stella that I'm painting. I have 3 portraits to finish today of my pets, and they're the last 3 of my pets. to do because I did my birds last year for this competition. I'm glad I made you laugh. I did my birds last year for this competition, and then this year I'm painting my 2 cats and my dog. So I don't know how long they'll be live for, but probably a while because I want to finish them. It is so hard for me to see her nose. It's too dark. I need to go lighter, even though I don't want to. I can't see it. She was just making such a silly face, licking herself, and I was excited to have a new cat. This was after her surgery. I had her fixed, and she was still very, very skittish. So like right now, I'm painting wet into wet, so I have to like, if I don't lay down enough thick paint, when I put my brush back on the canvas, it's going to either mix with the paint that's already there because I didn't put that much paint on my brush, or it's gonna lay on top of what I already put there. Hey Mustafa. And the problem I'm running into is that I'm not putting enough paint on my brush. I think she looks pretty as a green cat. I wish I could zoom in to show you guys. Oh, you're good, Aiden. I don't mind to be your body double while you're painting. Or drawing, I mean. You know what I was craving earlier? I don't know how far stretched this is from everybody, but really wanted Quiznos. But I looked up Quiznos online thinking I live in a metroplex. There's got to be several, right? I mean, where I used to live, there was one, and there was one not too far from there, like a few hours away. But up here, there's only one, maybe two, if I want to drive like 2 hours. There was one 40 minutes away. I really just wanted a bread bowl with broccoli and cheese soup in it. I was like, that would be amazing. And I don't want to drive 40 minutes one way to get a bread bowl. Well, thank you. Plus, I've spent a lot of money in the last couple days that I probably shouldn't have spent, but that's what I get for not spending that much time in my apartment. I really couldn't believe that there's only one Quiznos, and it's not even that close. Like, did something happen to the franchise, or was I just disillusioned to think that they were more widespread than they really are? What gives Quiznos? Because I remember seeing national commercials for them. What happened? I know, 40 minutes is way too far, and I live in a metroplex. So what gives? I got so excited thinking, oh, I'm just going to pick up Quiznos real quick. Because I hadn't had it in years. I think where I'm from, there was some sort of tax fraud going on or something. I don't know. I don't want to like make up things, but that's what I heard in the rumors, that somebody didn't pay taxes or something. That's why we didn't have one anymore. But man, I know they're like franchises, right? So it's like individually owned and operated by whoever wants a franchise, but still, it just seems very low to me, especially for as densely populated as this area is. Like, it makes me wonder what other place, since there's people watching me that live elsewhere, what's another place where you can get a bread bowl to put soup in? Like, is there another place that exists where you can do that it's not like super expensive? Because I really want one soonish. I mean, that doesn't have to be today, but am I crazy for wanting that? Like, where else could I get one that's not Quiznos that I could look up? Because it really is maddening. It's not that bad, actually, but still, it is annoying. Panera? See, I haven't been to Panera in a really long time, and where I lived, we didn't have one, but I do think there is a Panera nearby, so I'm gonna have to check that out. Thank you for suggesting that. I hadn't thought about that. Okay, what's going on here? My cat looks like she's in Beetlejuice because she's all green in my painting. I wonder what my animals would think if they could talk to me about my paintings of them. Like, I wonder if they would be flattered that I love them this much. You see her little tongue coming out? That is all her tongue. Thank you, Julia. Thank you for stopping by. I know it's a super small painting. I usually paint a lot bigger than this. So I'm curious. I've had some people tell me that they'll listen to me while they do, or they'll listen/watch me while they're doing other things. But is that what everybody's doing? Are you mostly like multitasking? You're kind of like looking at what I'm doing and then you're doing your own thing? Some people have told me it's just relaxing to watch me paint as I go, but I'm just really curious, like, what's the general consensus? unless people have walked away. Or maybe I'm narcissistic and think people are still watching and they're not. To be fair, I haven't been paying as much attention to the screen as I have to my painting. Thank you guys for getting me to almost 8,000 likes. That's amazing. I think this is one of the better lives I've had. You're working, listening on earbuds, very mellow. Awesome. So you are multitasking then. I mean, I probably would be too. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll just scroll through TikTok Live and see who I come across. It's been really cool, the other artists I've been able to meet. I've gone live with one of them, have plans to go live with a couple more. I think it'd be really fun. Had some really good conversations with some people on here. Especially about art, which is my special interest, so it's always fun. I just realized I'm using raw umber. I'm not using burnt umber like I was for my black that I was making. Whoops. That explains some of the funky colors that I've been getting. Oh, good. I'm glad I make you laugh. I actually had a friend of mine he does stand-up comedy on the side. I don't know if I talked to you about this in another live or not, but I never really thought I was that funny. I thought my brother was really funny. And last year when I talked to my friend, he was like, have you ever tried stand-up comedy? Because you're really funny. I was like, no. But I'm glad I can make a comedian laugh. Like, that's pretty cool. I kind of feel like painting the paint. Hey, Viper! Viper's been like here since the beginning, I feel like. Almost maybe since my first live. I don't even know. I'm starting to know people's names. I'm trying to keep track. I got Mr. Hummingbird, which is Edgar. I know you just probably started watching me though, Edgar. But Viper's been awesome. Let's see, where's my pink at? I feel like I don't really need this rosebud, but I want to try it because it's fancy. This is my Vasari paint. It's like really expensive oil paint, in my opinion. There's probably fancier stuff out there, but very pretty. It makes me want to eat it. Makes me want a macaron. Macaroon? Macaron? I don't know how you say it. Thank you. Viper said has been around a while, loyal to the Fall Asleep Token peeps, plus you're very talented. I think it's crazy, Aiden, that you're drawing me, and I cannot wait to see how it looks. Let's see. I need a vibrant magenta. Dare I poke at this with my brush? Maybe I'll get something out of here. I'm so lazy right now. Ooh, I need a different brush. Yes, I found one that I can use. I need a brush holder or something. This is getting out of hand. Let's see. Get some oil, make a little pile, get some magenta or whatever the hell this is. I can't tell anymore because it's been drying. I think this will work. I'm gonna work on her tongue. I got tired of the greens for a little bit. I'll go back to it, but that's pretty. I think this works. All right, let's try it. It's real vibrant. I think it's gonna go really well with the greens. And to verify that I'm human with TikTok. All right, let's see. Let's see here. Thank you for the roses, Viper. I feel like you're showering me in a bouquet. A little darker here on the bottom with her tongue. Hey, Safika. I wish I knew everybody's name who was joining, but I can't see on the other platforms who's watching unless they talk. So TikTok, I see everybody, and I try to acknowledge everybody, but I don't always get a chance. You know, something I want to try that I've found out about recently is that in order to make a painting cohesive on purpose, what you can do is lay out all your colors and mix one color, pick a color, mix a little bit of that color into every single color on your palette before you even begin to paint. And I was thinking about doing that. I think that's a cool challenge. Whoa, I can't believe you sent me 100 roses. Thank you. No, we'll see. Cat's tongues look so weird. I'm having to make hers a little bit purple with this green. So I'm mixing some of the pink and the green to get kind of a gray purple color. Oh, your Apple Pencil died. No, you gotta charge it. That's the worst. I just found mine today. I was wondering where it was. I've been talking to my friend about drawing using an Apple Pencil or an iPad. I would like to get better at it, but I've been so into my painting lately that I don't know if I would make the time. Oh, I got a low battery on my iPad, so I might have to take a break soon. I hope not, though. Oh, I don't have it plugged in. I guess I could do that, but when I started, it wasn't that bad. Does anybody here play VR? Like, have you tried painting VR or Vermilion? Or are there any other cool games you've played? I'm a VR person. I've even thought about like trying to figure out how to live stream while I do that. I don't know if that's too tech savvy for me. I don't know if I'd get frustrated trying to figure it out, but I do like to game and I do like to paint on VR. So it's like, even if it's real life or VR, I still am painting or in the art studio. Lately, I've been playing Smash Tennis, which is an old school video game on Super Nintendo on my Switch with my friend. And we've been having a lot of fun playing that game. We never win, we suck at it, but it's a pretty fun game. I never would have chosen to play it without her choosing it for us. Hey, what does your name say? It looks like Kiki, but I can't see from here because the font is strange. Maybe I just call you Kiki. You know who I'm talking about? I forget that I can probably go live from my computer because I'm near my computer right now. I haven't tried the live center yet from my computer. Aiden, what do you mean, it sucks? The fact that your pencil died? Hey, Tater and Tabitha. I wonder how. Oh, you think VR painting sucks? I think it's really cool. I think it's a lot like painting in real life. The VR painting game that's called, hey, Pepper Grinder, the VR painting game that's called VR painting, I haven't figured it out yet. I think it has a lot of potential. The Vermilion game feels a lot like painting though. Like, I recently downloaded it, and for multiple days in a row, I was just waking up and using it. Hey, Hannah. I think there's just a learning curve to a lot of media, and that's one of them. Just like I thought pastels sucked until I learned more about how to actually use it. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to become a pastel artist, you know what I mean? Like, I just see that there's potential in it. I've also realized it's probably not for me. It is fun. It can be fun. Damn it. Oh, good. Oh, no. Oh, no. My brush fell on the floor. So Vermilion's awesome. I mean, Painting VR now they've updated it to where you can do very similar things, if not the same, as you can in Vermilion with Painting VR. I just haven't explored it enough to figure it out. I don't think it's as intuitive as Vermilion. And what I like about Vermilion is that they actually take you through a step-by-step tutorial. You have to go through it before you can use the game. I wish Painting VR was like that. I don't remember it having a tutorial when I started it, and I think that's why I've struggled so much with playing with it. So I paid for it, and I kind of felt like it was a waste of money because I couldn't figure it out, and I wanted to just enjoy myself. I didn't want to have to try to figure it out with YouTube or anything like that. Something just dawned on me about a conversation I was having yesterday and the day before that, or the day before that. Isn't that wild to have that afterthought? Just trying to understand the situation, and now I feel like I understand it. And I have thought of a way to help. Oh, tongues are so weird to paint. Especially a cat tongue, because it's got all those weird furry looking things on it. You know what I'm talking about? Bye, Aiden. Thanks for staying with me for a while. Have a good weekend. Thank you guys for getting me to 8,500 likes. I got 5% left on my iPad. I should probably charge it. I've got like half of her done. I feel like maybe. It's weird painting her pupils because I can tell that my reflection is in her eye. In both eyes. But just so y'all know, if and when I do leave, I'm probably going to come back. I'm going to leave soon because it's at 4%. I am bound to the battery life of my iPad right now. I could always print it out, but I don't know. Hmm. Hey, 666. I need to go lighter with this. Her eyes are this weird, I don't know. It's not really green, but it's also not really amber, but it kind of is. I did not know that about deja vu. What's really weird, aside from deja vu, is to know that you had a dream about something, wonder why you dreamt it before having the experience. Then you have the experience and you tell somebody, hey, remember that dream I told you about that I wasn't sure why I had that dream? This is part of that dream, what we're experiencing right now. That has happened to me before. I actually had the conversation with somebody after I had the dream, like the day after. I was like, hey, I had this really weird dream, and I explained it. And then I experienced it with the same person. Was like, this was part of the dream I was telling you about. Like, we were in this room. It was exactly what I remembered. That's really weird. For a long time, I wondered what that was from. I think I understand now. It could just